Friday, May 30th, 4:34 p.m. New York time. Welcome back, investors, to Winning Wall Street's Money. It's the last trading day of the month. So come Monday, we'll start a new month. We just had major earnings in a wide range of company stocks, but we're going to focus on the Magnificent Seven in this video. If you don't know the Magnificent Seven, there are companies that trade on the NASDAQ stock index. They're high-tech companies, several of them dealing with AI. They've been around for a good number of years. They are the heavily weighted average in the major stock indexes, the NASDAQ 100, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and the S&P 500. When they move, they affect the indexes hugely. I'm going to share you some insight here. Some investors, traders are not aware of, either from common sense or education or something else maybe I'm misunderstanding. When you own a stock share, you own shares in a company. You are an owner of those earnings and revenue. Got it? That's it. And yes, that is where you can get rich if the company you own is extraordinary. They don't all maintain that momentum. They change short term, and they may come back better than before. Part of that deals with the leadership of the company, the CEO, and the board members that elect that CEO and direct and mentor that CEO to stay with times, what the current situation is. So this is the stock index, the NASDAQ 100. Looking at a 20-year chart. I'm going to change it here. I'm going to put it on a 10-year. Past 10 years, we've gone through 2+ administrations, different policies, lots of different policies, as well as you may not be aware of. A lot of board members and CEOs change over time in those companies. I just mentioned that prior. So look at the NASDAQ 100. The bottom left is the low. The top right is the high. This year made the all-time high. For the month, we made a higher high, higher low. Big body. Big green body. Closed above that month, closed above that month, but it's not all-time high yet. So the index, especially this index, it's much more volatile. It's called the NASDAQ 100 again. Represents technology. So it's not very diversified as the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the S&P 500. But we're going to go alphabetic order right here. The Magnificent Seven companies. They all closed. And I'm going to also put them for 10 years. Okay, I already did. Yep. So the first one's Apple. Look what happened for the month. It closed yellow. That means it didn't take out the higher low of the prior month. It's underperforming the NASDAQ 100. So if you were to invest $10,000, $100,000, $1,000 in the NASDAQ 100 versus the S&P 500, two big things are different here. Apple has not taken out the all-time high or the high from last year. The NASDAQ 100 has, plus the NASDAQ 100 trading above and closed above prior month. Apple has not. So your return on investment, your performance would be better on the index. Remember, these indexes are managed by companies, and periodically they take poor performing companies off and replace them. Poor performing companies. Remember, I told you about earnings and revenues. Google. Here's the high for the year. Higher high, higher low for the month. It's not as close to the all-time high as the NASDAQ 100. Amazon, similar to the NASDAQ, green for the month, higher high, higher low. But again, look at that big wick on the top. Concerning. Let's go back here on Google. Big wick on the top. Let's go back here on Apple. That big wick on the top. So right off the bat, and Stan, we didn't close close enough to the highs, but the majority of them closed above the prior high. Okay. So again, the index, let's see which companies are helping this index perform better. Meta, aka Facebook, aka WhatsApp, aka Instagram. Green for the month, higher high, higher low. Microsoft, wow. Huge gap. Look at the space between the prior month and the high. So we made a new high for the year. Outstanding. NASDAQ 100 has not. But Microsoft's still below the high of last year. Very interesting, this big move on. So let's adjust this. $462.52. Just there we go. Outstanding. It helped a lot on this index. Again, it made a new high for the year. First, the other ones have not. NVIDIA. Yep. Let's adjust this. Oh, it's good still. So green for the month, higher high, higher low. Outstanding. It's helping the index. Tesla. Wow. It's below the high of last year. It's performing worse than the index. Here's the high for the year. Yes, big green candle for the month, higher high, higher low. Below the highs of last year, still underperforming the index. And even though it's not part of the Magnificent Seven, it used to be part of FANG, if you ever heard of FANG Plus. Netflix, all-time new high. It's performing better than the NASDAQ 100. Again, look at Apple, Google, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Tesla, none of them all-time high. Versus Netflix, all-time new high. It's not even part of the index. So that's where I guess earnings and revenue, and you're spending a lot of your money to help this company. All-time new high. Outstanding. Wow. Thank you as always, spending just a little time with me. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching.